ghost stories.
Folklore, unique history, whatever makes your town unique. We call them hometown tales because every town has one.
All right, hey, everybody. Welcome. Hometown Tales. Hopefully everybody can hear us. So, Mr. Minogue, you're here.
I am.
Okay. Hopefully you're sounding okay and not broken up. I know we had this problem one other time, but we're doing our best. I think we could be okay. So, hey, it's been a while. This, I think, is
been a week.
officially, but it's been a while since hopefully people are hearing us within our podcast feed, which has been quite a while. We had a little bit of a reunion on Facebook Live, just chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week, we kind of did a little bit of a show.
Kinda.
But this is the first time where hopefully, officially, you're hearing something in your podcast feed, iTunes, Spotify, whatever you choose. We decided to reunite because we're in the middle of a global pandemic.
And it feels so good.
From my bunker to yours, which your bunker looks very good today, actually.
Thank you. Yeah,
And we thought
Liza
that
from
it would be
Morristown
good.
Oh, sorry.
She hooked you up. She
She let me in the office.
We thought it would be appropriate that even though everybody loves to hear the ghost stories, the creatures, maybe we should talk about something happy.
What makes you happy, Gene?
Honestly, ice cream isn't that big of a deal for me, but I know it makes a lot of other people happy.
It makes a lot of people happy unless you're lactose intolerant.
Well, I look at it this way. Ice cream's food, and I love food.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if I were to have a choice between like a cheeseburger, pizza,
Yeah, no, ice cream is not top 5.
So we decided, why don't we have tales of ice cream and stuff?
Right, because last week we were talking about doomsday bunkers, and that didn't help. That didn't help with the mood. It was a dark vibe, and we didn't need to add to the dark vibe we already lived through right now. So ice cream makes everybody happy.
And even though everybody, and we put out a little survey, everybody likes to hear about the ghost stories. Everybody hears about the one-eyed beast from Mars that invaded Russia during the revolution. At the end of the day, one of our most popular shows ever, go back on iTunes, check it out, Tales of Soda, Part 1, Part 2.
Absolutely.
So here we are, Tales of Ice Cream and stuff.
And
it's not always gloomy. It's not always bright. No. Hey, what's your favorite flavor ice cream?
A lot of people are going to moan because I'll go with the pistachio. I'll go with the moose tracks and all of them. But you can't beat coffee. If it's well done, you can't beat a coffee ice cream.
Yeah.
No? What do you do?
Vanilla.
Okay.
It's pretty basic.
Mine is just vanilla was in the sun a little longer. It's no different.
Ice cream's been around for a long time.
From what I've heard, as the tale goes, it's been around since 3000 BC. Came from China. But
everything comes from China.
Was it really? So yeah, maybe it was the first dessert, but was it really ice cream? It was more flavor ice, and they threw in some flavoring, like a water ice you get at Rita's in the summertime.
And that's why I don't really count it as ice cream until it's got the ice and the cream.
Now, that happened in the 1800s when Marco Polo brought it back from, it was before the 1800s. Marco Polo brought it back from his journeys in China, along with pasta. And evidently it was, I guess, Catherine de' Medici that turned what was, essentially it was like a sorbet. She added the cream to get closer to what we know of today as gelato. And because with Catherine de' Medici, then it became all the rage because everybody wanted to be part of the squad.
And that's where it gets dicey, right? A lot of people warring over who really invented. Have you ever had? I don't know if my Indian pronunciation is correct, but kulfi, which is
If
like
not, no, I know what you're
an
talking
Indian
about.
ice cream.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
a lot of
because
people kind of
we're in
claim,
northern New Jersey. There's so many indie restaurants. We must have had it at
yeah.
some point.
I mean, that's kind of ice cream, and that's we're talking
Long
long
time.
time ago, right? We're probably talking a little bit before the Common Era,
Yeah.
and somebody said, "Hey, let's not just get this ice, but let's throw some other sort of milk in." I mean, even I think in China, in probably about 600 before the Common Era, I believe it was King Tang of Shang.
King Tang of Shang.
Yeah, King Tang of Shang. He
What did
maybe
he do?
invented ice cream, maybe invented Tang flavored drink, or from aliens, probably. That's where it all comes full circle because Tang is what you drink in space. But there was some sort of a ice cream that was created, and I think that's when you first get like buffalo milk and all this other stuff, which that's getting to the cream part.
Possibly. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it was a little too much tang, just ice. Because really, ice and flavoring ain't that great. What do you call
No,
it? You call it water ice, shaved ice, um,
whole
snow
different show,
cone.
right?
They're not that good.
I like shave ice. I
You
like
throw a
snow
little, yeah,
cones.
but throw a little cream and some whatever,
And
vanilla,
that's what
coffee.
Emperor Nero was also playing around with this stuff. Like Sith magic, He was playing around with ice and honey, and
Yeah.
that's, 4 BC. E
Uh huh.
is proper terminology. So
Fine.
I don't think we've solved anything, as we normally don't,
No.
but I know we got lots of tales of ice cream. What you got?
So you mentioned that people have gone to war over the advent of ice cream and who lays claim to it. I'll get to it later because it's not exactly ice cream; it's the other stuff. Um, but people are really, really possessive of who invented what. So, can you hear that?
I can.
Sounds like my wife's making ice cream in the kitchen.
Yeah, for
Anyway,
sure.
a lot of desserts, specifically ice cream related desserts, are named after famous people, which I didn't know. 1892, London, England, the Savoy Hotel, the place where Peach Melba was
Oh boy.
created. Evidently, there was a soprano. Her name was Nellie Melba, and she was a
Sounds like a
hit.
soprano.
I think she was Australian. She's like
Should
Kylie
be
Minogue
Italian.
today. She was doing a performance at
Diner.
Convent
Jersey Diner.
Gardens. Yeah, Jersey. She's staying at the Savoy. So the chef, the Savoy, a very famous, heard the name before, Auguste Escoffier. He created a dessert in her honor. It was peaches rested on a bed of vanilla ice cream and topped was spun sugar. And
Oh.
he named it Peach Melba. He also created Cherry's Jubilee for
Hmm.
the Queen's Jubilee anniversary. So Escoffier, I mean, when you watch the Food Network, they're always talking about the
Yeah.
hardcore chefs of France. He was one of them because he created Peach Melba and Cherry's Jubilee, and then he got fired for embezzlement. Did you know
There's a
that?
fair share of haunted ice cream parlors too.
Get out of here!
Where else? Cape May. Friends from
Everything.
haunted New
It's not an
Jersey.
ice cream parlor. It's just the area is haunted, and built an ice cream
I-
parlor over a mass grave. Oh, great! So let's bring back the flu and how deadly it is. Cape May, very
So
haunted.
not only is it haunted, but it's haunted by a ghost of a child.
They're all kids. It's freakish because
And
the Spanish
why
flu
is
came
that?
and killed it.
Because of the
Spanish
Spanish
flu.
flu. It all comes back to the global pandemic.
All comes back to the global pandemic.
So they say. Our good friends, Haunted New Jersey, Garrett Husfest, God rest his soul, no longer with us. But he always said the reason why Cape May is haunted is because of the big influenza. A lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
And that's why there's kids' ghosts. And that's
So,
why naturally a kid ghost would haunt an ice cream parlor. If you're a kid and you die, of course you'd go there.
how scary would it be? So it's not scary if you see like a little kid ghost like licking a cone, but if the
Yeah.
little kid ghost is done and he's got like chocolate all over his face, that'd be
Yeah.
freaking morbid.
Yeah. I don't know, but ghosts are kind of like black and white. Would you know? It would look like blood,
Yeah, like
right?
he ate something. Like he was a zombie ghost, a zombie kid ghost that like gorged on
Yeah.
your blood.
Yeah. Hey,
With or without the ice cream, kid ghosts are freaky.
they're always fun. Yeah, kid ghosts can be scary. Kid ghosts can be
Kid
extra
ghosts.
scary. Kid ghosts with chocolate sauce from ice cream that looks like blood,
That's
maybe even
scary.
better. You know, blood and ice cream are not that unique, actually. Sir Lawrence of Arabia used to eat kulfi, which is that Indian ice cream, with pig's blood. Give it a little flavor. Yeah, that's what they say. Urban legend.
Ew.
Yeah, hey, that's what our show's about.
He was bloodthirsty. Uh, Here's something that caught my attention, and I was surprised. Mochi. Okay, let's go to
Yeah,
Japan.
sure.
Mochi ice cream. I figured had been around for a while because mochi's, the mochi, the rice papery thing from Japan has been around a while. Actually, mochi ice cream was invented in 1981 by Frances Hashimoto,
So new.
but she got the idea from her husband, Joel Friedman. He came up with the idea. Yeah, I cracked up when I read the name because that's just not a Japanese name you'd expect. So Joel Friedman told his wife Frances, "Look, you get ice cream and then take the traditional mochi rice cake paper and wrap it, and then put it in the freezer, and let's see what happens." Mochi ice cream.
Mochi ice cream. My
Which
kids
I
kind of
don't.
like mochi ice cream.
You're vanilla. I'm coffee,
Yeah,
so
vanilla.
I might already know the answer. Do you just want smooth, like peanut butter, or can things go in your ice cream?
Things can go in my ice cream because, again, I mean, maybe this is a bit of a buzzkill. We're doing a show about ice cream, and that doesn't do all that much for me, to be honest with you. It's not bad. It's like I said, it's food.
It's
But
not
what
our
makes
show.
it
It's for the listener. It's for the people,
for the people.
for the children.
But yeah, that's when I like ice cream more. When it's not just ice cream, it's got like brownies and waffles and
In
all
it.
that kind of stuff in there. In it, yeah. But I don't like peanut butter ice cream because then that's more of a savory
Yeah.
thing. But a peanut in ice cream, hey, now we're
Well, that's
talking
good.
fun times.
But what if there's something outside the ice cream, like
Like Magic Shell.
magic shell or the mochi, or a deep? Have you ever had a deep fried ice cream?
I have, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Japanese do deep fried ice cream, and Mexican restaurants on Route 10 in Livingston do fried ice cream. You get a big ball of ice cream, you squeeze all the air out of it, you freeze it, and then you roll it around in crushed, I don't know,
Yeah.
frosted flakes, and then you dunk it real quick in the fryer. Nice little.
Flakes.
I would rather have. I'd rather have ice cream with stuff in it than ice cream
I
inside of
agree.
something else.
When I was a kid, I used to get bubblegum ice cream. It would have
Oh,
bubble. Yeah, it was weird. Why would I do that? So it's not just Cape May that's haunted.
that's haunted.
So there's an Reed's Ice Cream Factory. You ever heard of that? Out in Long Island, everything's haunted in Long Island.
I didn't know
So
that.
it's a factory. You know, rumors
cream
are, yeah, it's kind of like you said about Cape May. Like if you just put something on top, like if you build an ice cream parlor on top of like an Indian burial ground,
It's going
does
to be
that
haunted.
count that the ice cream parlor is haunted, or is it just that the Indian burial ground's haunted?
But what? Wait, at the
Good.
first place,
It's actually a great business move, right? Let's find
No,
an
yeah.
Indian burial
I'm glad.
ground, build
I
an
wouldn't
ice cream
call it.
parlor.
I wouldn't call it Reeds.
No, yeah,
I'd call it ice
That's a-
cream.
yeah. well,
Ice cream. Ice cream parlor. I just thought of that. I mean, it's not like a wild creative stretch. We all scream haunted ice cream parlor.
Hey,
We could make millions. Sorry, I just said it
I
bad
know,
there.
I know.
But who haunts it? or is it just
old
cold spots?
stripper that died. Creepy
Time out, time
things.
out, time. Who died?
I guess it wasn't always an ice cream factory.
Definitely not. A stripper.
Or maybe she was like killed in the area because it's a factory. It's not like the
Some
soda
stripper.
jerks singing
So we're talking.
songs.
Is this like? Was this like a couple of years ago? The Gilgo Beach killer.
It was all over that. I think it was on was that Long Island Paranormal show or whatever.
Long Island. Long
Might have
Island
been maybe
Media.
Long Island Oddities.
Oh,
Something
your
like that.
dad's trying to get in touch with you from heaven. Worst show ever. So okay, so it's a stripper, a stripper in the ice cream factory.
They say, yeah.
What kind of ice cream would you name after her?
I don't
Come
know.
on.
I'm waiting for a good dad joke from you.
That's I'm trying to think of one.
Well, that's the thing is there's so many of these. Like you ever had Bassett's ice cream, Philadelphia, hometown tales, right? Philadelphia's the
Yeah,
town,
yeah.
the city. So Bassett's ice cream, they say, oldest ice cream parlor in the U.S., 1800s,
Yeah, but
multi generations. There wasn't even freezers, right? So they would just make this stuff. They'd rush it to the farmers market, and then all of a sudden they finally got a place. They got the nice marble counter before Cold Steam Creamery ever did it. And boom, Bassett's ice cream, and now they're all over the world. Oldest ice cream in the United States.
really? Now, if you're in Philadelphia and you say that, I'm not going to argue. If you're anywhere else but Philadelphia and you say the oldest,
They don't believe it.
except for the oldest house is in Santa Fe, New Mexico,
Gotcha. Yes, we talked about
and the
that.
oldest church,
Yeah.
which has nothing to do with ice cream. Something else that doesn't have anything to do with ice cream, but it started a war almost between Australia and New Zealand, was pavlova. You ever had pavlova?
Oh, Pavlova.
It's like crispy white meringue. It's a very British thing. You see it on the Great British Bake Off. It's a crispy meringue with fruits and cream. Anyway, it was named after Anna Pavlovka, who was a Russian ballet dancer.
Yeah,
And
sounds
during the early 20s, mid 20s, she visited Australia and New Zealand on a world tour doing her dance. And again, some famous chef in a hotel said, "Hey, well, let's make a dessert to commemorate your world tour and visiting our lovely countries down under." So both Australia and New Zealand said, "Well, we did it first. You copied us." To the point where
Yeah, they're not friends, Australia. and
no,
New
they
Zealand,
they
right?
almost went to war over this white meringue fruitcake.
Fruitcake
1927, the earliest reference published in a recipe for pavlovka, published in Davis's Dainty Dishes, brought to you by the Davis Gelatine Company of New Zealand.
Wow.
So, if you publish first, do you lay claim?
Yeah. Hey, man, this isn't very different than Taylor ham or pork roll. Case's pork roll or Taylor's.
But okay, now these people actually went to war. The Greeks and the Turks hate each other
Wow, yeah.
because they're fighting over who made baklava.
Who made a dessert named after a Russian dancer?
No, baklava, the phyllo dough and the nuts and the honey.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah.
But you can throw some
Talk
ice cream
so
on
quick.
top.
We talk so quick. I forgot.
Yeah,
Still thought we were talking about the Russian dancer that was killed at Reed's,
the Russian stripper on Long Island.
which could very well have been a Russian dancer at Reed's ice cream parlor. It's very possible. There actually is some in Glasgow, one of your favorite places.
I've
There
never
were
been.
ice cream wars. It was a turf war between like drug dealers, and they were using the ice cream trucks to drug up everything, selling all stuff from the ice cream trucks. Seems like yeah, of course they would do
Really?
that, right? And of course, wouldn't you think that's the first thing a drug dealer would think of? What a
Because as
better
soon
way
as
than
you
go
ring
around
those
ice cream.
bells,
And
yeah,
it went on for
they're running
years.
out.
There was murders.
Really?
Yeah, ice cream wars.
So when I was growing up on Long Island, and you would hear the bells for the Good Humor guy or whatever
Sure,
it was,
yeah.
Tasty Fruit, the ice cream truck. Um, you'd hear the bells, you'd hear screen doors slamming because little kids are running out with their
Going nuts.
$2 bills. And I thought the ice cream man's name was Charlie. What I learned years later was all the kids are saying, Charlie, wait. Like, don't keep rolling. Hit the brakes and stop. Charlie, wait. Because I got my money. I'm coming. I just thought it was Charlie, wait.
We had George.
Oh,
George's ice cream. Everyone said he was an ex-con.
oh.
That
My
was that
kids
was the
had,
hometown tale. That was the hometown tale. George was an ex-con.
oh,
I don't
really?
know if it's true. And like any good show, we're not going to prove it.
Oh,
We'll just
yeah. My kid's ice cream guy was Jean Baptiste
John
from Haiti.
Batiste.
Jean Baptiste from Haiti.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I always got the fudge bomb, which goes back 3,000 years because that's just ice flavoring and a tiny, tiny bit of
Yeah, it doesn't
buffalo
count, right?
milk.
If it doesn't have the cream,
Well, I mean,
it's not ice cream. It's ice.
Does anything from an ice cream truck actually have real cream? What are we
That's a
eating?
good point. But you had some of those ice cream trucks that were soft serve. So when ice cream trucks started, they weren't soft ice cream because
No.
soft ice cream was invented, they say, by Tom Carvel. And
Oh,
then
Cookie
Dairy
Puss.
Queen, Dairy Queen claims that they invented it.
Of course. And that's why they
But
Tom Carvel.
ice cream trucks, I think ice cream trucks, like, they started before there were even freezers. And that's why they had them on the truck, because they could store them in the truck. I don't know why. I guess the truck had a freezer, or maybe people couldn't have freezers, so it was easier for a truck to have it. But Tom Carvel, and I think we've told this story on Hometown Tales before, 1934, decided he's going to have an ice cream route. He's going to pick up ice cream, he's going to sell it at the beach. Little kid rides his bike. By the time he gets to the beach, it's all melted. It's hot in the summer. And Tom Carvel, I mean, if you ever heard him, it makes sense he wouldn't be a fast bike rider, right? So he gets there and he sells the stuff, and everyone's like, "It's great," and it's melted. But he was a smart businessman. He's like, "I still got to sell it." So it was the thing. So he went back and said, "All right, I'm turning all my freezers lower, and this is my thing." Hartsdale, New York.
Is that where it's? Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it all starts out there, right?
Oh, Cookie Puss.
Meanwhile, Dairy Queen claims in Moline, Illinois, that they invented it.
What?
Which is it?
Yeah. I'm going for Carvel. Well, where did good humor come from? What's
that?
their story? What's their tale?
Dairy Queen? They just
No.
I know they're
Good humor. I figured good humor were the first.
would invent it. No, I think they're just hard ice cream. That's a good question though. I don't really have that answer. I don't know.
Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean to throw you a screwball on live.
Live on
We'll have to find out.
national, international Facebook company.
So it's not ice cream, but it's cream,
Okay.
and it might be my favorite dessert of them all. This is top 5 foods. Comes from Belém, Portugal, a little town right outside of Lisbon. Actually, now it's a suburb. About 300 years ago, Pastiche de Natal, or Pastiche Natal, essentially means custard pie,
Custard.
or cream pastry in Portuguese. So what it is, it's a traditional Portuguese tart. It's a little thing. It's like delicious, little crispy, little flaky, pastry shell filled to the brim with sweet cream, and then they put it in the oven so it broils on top, almost like a creme brulee. The sugar caramelizes on top of the cream. It's been around for 300 years. The monks at San Geronimo Monastery in Belém, they started making these. But then they were running out of money, and monks, they're not big into business, or maybe they are. I don't know. Anyway, they sold their recipe to a little cafe around the corner, and that cafe has kept the recipe among maybe 4 people alive at any one time for the past 300 years. So this little place, Pastiche Natal in Belém, on average, 20,000 a day.
Wow.
And it's not like in the middle of town, in the middle of Lisbon. You have to go to the suburbs. You could take a boat. Now you could take one of those little Portuguese trolley cars. Um, they're a euro. So you get a couple, you get a cappuccino, and they make 20,000 a day. And they're amazing. You can knock it off in 2 bites because they're little and they're creamy and they're sugary and they're light and flaky.
Hmm.
Good.
So you're kind of I think you've unveiled. You're the sweet tooth guy, right? Never
Oh, you and
really.
me? Oh, definitely.
Well,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm more the skeptic, savory. You're
Yeah,
more
and I'm the
the.
sucker sweet.
Well, all right, there we are. So it
There you
makes it a
go.
good show, folks.
Um, what about you?
Yeah.
Pie or cake
Pie or cake?
for you?
Depends on the pie.
Oh, come on, Gene. Just pie or cake.
Probably more cake
Would
in
you
general.
would you have ice cream with cake?
Uh, I would.
Oh,
I would.
but would you have ice cream with pie?
I would probably more likely have ice cream with pie.
Yeah, why
It's a
is
good
that?
question.
Yeah, you have your
Good question.
cake, and then you have your ice cream, but you have your
Well,
pie, and
because
you have your ice cream.
my
You put the ice cream right on top of that thing.
see when I say cake, it's a frosted cake.
Well, yeah, yeah. What cake's
Well,
that?
sometimes there's
Except for a
pound
bundt
cake,
cake, frosting is the
pound
cake is
cake.
just a frosting carrier in my book. Cake is nothing other than the vehicle by which I get my frosting.
Pound cake.
Oh, right. And shortcake, which is a
Angel food cake.
fine. You don't need the ice cream for
Crab
cake.
cake.
Oh, sugar.
No frosting.
Right, mud cake. Oh, no, it's a mud pie. Sorry. Right, because it has frosting, so you don't need the ice cream because it's already sweet. But
Yeah.
you get like a blueberry or a cherry pie, my two favorites, because they have a little tartness to it. That's why you need the ice cream on top.
Yeah. I mean, a nice warm apple pie with some ice cream.
Oh, France, France, 1389. The tart tartan. It's not American. It's French. Just like Lady Liberty.
Are you always sure of the dates? Because sometimes I think you could just be making them up, and I'm not going to question it.
No, that one was pretty close. I got it within 50 years. I saw it somewhere.
You just say it with confidence and a smile.
Tart
That's
tartan.
good. It's
1389, France.
yeah. So
Oh, but what about wedge cheddar cheese with apple pie?
yeah, that's weird, right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
And then, do you get into milkshakes? Racine, Wisconsin,
Oh yeah,
Hamilton Beach Manufacturing Company have nothing to do with the beach, except that one of the guys' names was Beach and the other guy's name was Hamilton.
Yeah.
They made the whole Cyclone mixer change the game because now you
did.
could make milkshakes, right?
And
You
they
ever see
barely
that at
changed it.
McDonald's?
They really changed it. You go to Denville Dairy, you get the best shake in northern New Jersey, and it still has that old Hamilton Beach.
And you know what else changed the
years old.
game? Malted milk, Horlicks. Because now you don't even need real cream or milk. You could just put this powder in, like
Right.
McDonald's does, make it all cold, and then it all goes back to India.
I got a oh,
You know why?
no.
Because Horlicks is really big in India. Because in
That's
some
the
areas,
that should be the name of the stripper ice cream. Sorry, sorry. That was,
So
horrifying.
everybody's like all the rage over Horlicks because in some areas, if you can't get dairy, this is the nutritional option, right? You have this malted milk. So what happens is this is this nutritional product.
right.
GSK, big pharmaceutical company, ends up buying a couple things and they own Horlicks. But here's the problem. Turns out Horlicks ends up being the number 2 or 3 beverage in the world. So now a pharmaceutical company is competing against Pepsi and Coke with one of the number 1 beverages, and they never knew what to do. And they still don't know what to do.
But the number one beverage for a very long time in the U.S. was Coke, which had cocaine from bear. which is a pharmaceutical company.
All comes back.
So
Right?
everything, it all comes
It
back
all comes
to
back to
India
pharmaceutical
or pharmaceuticals.
and the pharmacies, which invented soda and malted milk.
And Pepsi is Pepsin because it settled your stomach.
That sounds like, I mean, hey, here we are, 30 minutes. It sounds like a perfect, I don't know, place to wrap it up, I guess.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh, I don't know. You got a scoop for me? You tell me.
No, I don't know. You know, we put out a survey, a lot of people answering.
Oh, did they? How
Yeah,
do you
tells us
have?
nothing.
Huh?
It tells us nothing.
Or there was a tide across the board?
You know, do you like it streaming? Yeah. Do you like it as a podcast? Yeah. Do you like theme shows or just riffing?
Yeah.
Meh. So I guess we'll keep doing what we keep doing.
Yeah. We just
A
accept.
lot of people like the
ambiguity.
paranormal. They like the paranormal.
Of course. But do we want to get back into the darkness and the evil that people do because we're in a bad time?
Yeah, I think we do.
Do we want to keep it light and lively?
Well, I don't think we ever took those ghosts too seriously.
No.
Well, hey, there you go.
All right.
What do you think? I guess we'll wrap it up and we'll figure out what happens next. Hopefully this worked.
We'll find out.
Check us out. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook Live. For all those who followed, thank you. See if I know how to close this. Yes, go ahead.
If you're ever in the Netherlands or in the Dutch-speaking part of Belgium, remember this. Ein speculoos ijsje alstublieft. There you go.
That's perfect. Hey, shout out to Fruit Trees, too. Sent a lot of good stories in. I think we covered them. I don't know. All right, folks.
We'll be talking to you.
We'll be talking to you.
Urban legends, folklore. Urban legends, folklore, unique history, whatever makes your town unique. We call them hometown tales because every town has one.